And then I told you about the GMO in foods and drinks. It's all part of the same plan. It's hunger based on artificial scarcity. They're creating the scarcity. They're creating the shortage of food. They're stopping the farmers from doing their work. Seizing lands and making sure that your lands cannot produce by polluting and damaging the soil with their fake fertilizers. Those fertilizers are not real fertilizers. They are destructions to the soil. That's what they're doing. And then lots of poisonous chemicals. This is the reason we're having juveniles having cancer. For God's sake, what's a 5-year-old having cancer for? Lots of people having cancer. There's more cancer in the world now than ever before. Why is this happening? They're making lifetime customers of sick people. I told you about the fraud with hypertension. First of all, they create the hypertension, they cause it. They do a lot of things. I told you about the corn. And a lot of products that corn is used for. And corn is a major cause of hypertension. Mostly in Africa and Asia. And I know we all love corn. We have lots of products with corn. So we became what? Easy targets. But guess what? We are very wise and very smart. Now we're not going to be eating their corn. Corn, bye. That's it. Leave corn for them. Be smart. Be smart. Be smart. Don't buy their sweet corn. Don't buy their corn. Don't buy the corn. Don't buy. Leave cornflakes alone. Your kids have been calling for cornflakes. That's poisonous. Let the cornflakes go. All those corn products, don't take them anymore. Don't take them. Leave them. They're dangerous to health. Listen, if your kids stop taking those cornflakes, they will be healthy. These are the things making the kids sick. The vaccinations, you know, they made it such, they got the governments to make sure that vaccination for babies was made compulsory. Vaccination for kids. By the time you're 2 years old or up to 6 years old, you've taken like 16 to 80 vaccines, depending on which country you're from. It's terrible. They made it compulsory. You can't go to school until you show signs or documents, evidence that you've been vaccinated. And these vaccines are just introduction of poisons into the human body. They decided years ago to make children from Africa and Asia sterile. But if you're in Europe or in America, don't start dancing yet. They've done it to many there also. So it's around the world because they said they only need 500 million people on earth. And all the other billions of people should be killed. And this is no joke. They're serious. And that's why they're doing it. That's why they're doing it. So leave the corn products for them. You have to act. You have to refuse to buy those products.
Now this right here is an example of a GMO apple. This apple was cut yesterday night, and up until this morning it has not yet fully turned brown. These are the signs of an apple that is not an original apple. So you have to be careful what kind of apples or fruits you eat. There are lots of GMO apples or seeds or fruits in the markets these days. Let's be careful. These GMO seeds and apples and fruits are not good for our consumption. They have been banned in many Western countries, but in Nigeria or Africa precisely, there has been a push for GMO seeds. The bad thing about GMO seeds is that they cannot be reproduced. Like, you cannot replant GMO fruits. If you have a seed from an apple or from a GMO fruit or food, like your corn or maize or beans, if you have a GMO seed or a fruit or whatever, you cannot replant them after you first plant them. So let's assume you buy a bag of beans, GMO beans, or corn or maize or whatever. If you plant that beans and it grows, having applied the necessary pesticide on it, you harvest those beans, you cannot keep some of the seeds to replant in the next planting season, because those seeds are one-time seeds, which means you have to go back to the market to buy the same seed again. So like I will always say, Nigerians should wake up and take their health seriously. NAFDAC, doctors, all the rest of them, please, you guys have to help us. This is how cancer starts. Lots of cancer, strange diseases these days, because from one cancer to the other cancer, we do not even know which one is which again. So be careful what you eat out there. If you pinch your apple and it does not have a brown coloration after 5 to 10 minutes, know that you're eating a GMO seed made apple. Share this video to other people and get them informed. Let's stay healthy. Eat natural foods planted by yourself if possible, or eat direct from farms that are in the village, so that you can have a healthy life at the end. God bless you. Bye.
Right. And one of the things he's been pushing for over the decades is GMO food. Now, we know what GMO is, right? It's when you want a watermelon without seeds in it, or to grow strawberries when it's a little bit cold outside. But the truth is a little bit more insidious than that. You see, GMO doesn't just alter the genes of the foods we're eating, it has the capability of altering our genes. And the good people of Missouri have just stood up to this. They put forward a bill called HB 1169, Gene Therapy Disclosure and Informed Consent Bill. And basically what they're saying is, if these GMO foods have the potential to alter our genetic code, then we damn sure should be well aware of that and consent to it. And interestingly enough, a biotech lobbyist on the scene openly admitted that the food does in fact have that capability. It can. Now, I don't know about you, but I think this should be mainstream news. A lot of these foods we eat on a daily basis. And the scary part is what could be slipped into our food supply down the road without us knowing.
In 2021, Bill Gates said all rich countries should move to 100% synthetic beef. Well, he just got one step closer to that utopian dream. On June 21st, 2023, the USDA gave the first ever approval to 2 tech food startups, Upside Foods and Good Meat, to sell test tube chicken. It's actually cultivated in steel tanks, but you get the idea. Franken chicken sandwich, anyone? Live chicken cells are nourished in a broth of nutrients, and they do what stem cells do and create progeny all over the place. And then the masses of lab-grown chicken muscle are then shaped into familiar cutlets, boneless, no doubt. and sold retail. At least one of the companies is using genetic engineering to promote continuous growth of the cells. It's a little worrying that the proprietary processes used will not be likely open to scrutiny. With the mainstream media fawning all over them, they enthusiastically claim lab-grown meat will bring an end to the high environmental impact of the present meat industry. And then UC Davis research rained on their parade. They reported the impact of lab-grown meat is likely to be orders of magnitude higher than the real thing. Lots of consumers are apparently averse to their chicken having a steel vat for a mother, but not to worry, the USDA gave the industry $10 million of your money to address consumer acceptance. Now, I'm just wondering, should we be genetically modifying meat of animals that took hundreds of thousands of years to develop into a favorite menu item? Is it just me, or is that arrogance that's likely to end in tears?
If this doesn't make your blood run cold, I don't know what will. They're descending on all our natural organic botanical elixirs that generations have used to drive away sicknesses in our lands, and removing the healing properties in them so that when you use them, you just get only the flavor but not the fire. This is what they've done with lemon, garlic, etc. We need people to start creating organic seed banks all over the country. If you do, you'll make millions in no time. We will eventually reclaim our stolen nutritional sovereignty, and when we do, we will return to farming all natural, all organic again. So go to the villages now and buy piece up these natural roots and seeds before Bill and his boys rid our lands of them. That's when we're gonna be officially screwed for life, but we won't let them. We still have the originals and now's the best time to save them. Hashtag say no to GMOs, people. Mark my words, our bitter cola will be their next target, that's if they haven't already modified or started modifying it. And when they modify, they send diseases to target and kill existing natural, organic bitter cola trees, so farmers can rely only on the modified versions. They're ferociously coming for all the medicinal plants and crops that helped us fight and defeat hashtag Ebola and hashtag COVID. That's what the game plan is. And they want to finish the job before the next pandemic, which they all say is imminent. So that when that hits, no one is spared. Are you waking up yet, Africa? No celebrity or human being worth the water in their brains should ever have anything to do with promoting this mass depopulation agenda. Remember, faith without works is dead, and words without action is empty. We're not on here to rant away. We want to follow words and posts with action. Start from where you are and on whatever scale you can. You don't have to be very rich to take action. Look for farmers or lay people who still have access to our organic, natural plants and seeds and either buy or beg for them. Then store these seeds in a very safe place or simply look for a decent location closer home to plant them, just so we can keep an eye on the natural cycle of natural organic plant life in our communities. Sometimes airtight containers are used. Sometimes basket-like containers are used. Natural insect repellents like pepper and other substances are used to keep insects away. In some cultures, they even use animal dung-coated bamboo containers for storage. Some of these seeds and plant roots are stored in underground storage facilities or simply buried in the ground. How do you preserve natural seeds in your culture and/or country/community? Can you please share in the comments section below? We need to educate one another because the most urgent action needed right now is to start saving our organic and natural seeds, making sure we guard them with everything we've got, because this is war. And we also need to start educating some of our farmers who have been deceived into accepting GMOs. We need to reach them with the truth of how devastatingly dangerous GMOs are and the long-term effect they'll have on their health/general well-being and those of their entire communities. Show them countries around the world that would not even allow 0.0001% of GMO to enter their territories. Show them how Russia declared that cultivating GMOs is equal to committing terrorist acts in Russia. Take from the abundance of available facts that we have shared and open their minds. You can share videos of your outreach programs to help others see you in action evangelizing our farmers with truth. We need to do this because most of these farmers aren't online. And there are more than enough of us. We outnumber whatever number of foot soldiers Bill may have paid. We need to go to work now. I'm happy to share the video of your evangelistic outreaches to our deceived GMO farmers on my social media handles. Those farmers need salvation. Be their soul winner. Stay tuned for more updates, stay safe and have a blessed day.